All right, so I'm sitting inside of a 2017 Honda Pilot. This is going to be the Elite Edition. So this is top end. It's going to be all-wheel drive, 9-speed transmission. Those are standard features inside of this car. Shift-by-wire paddle, shifters, 20-inch wheels. So just some of the things that the car comes with. So let's walk you through the inside of the car and kind of explain some things. Start off over here, windows. It's going to be auto up and down on your driver and passenger side, your locks, and then your window locks. Over on the door, you will notice you do have the memory seating for this. To set it, all you would do is press set, get it to whatever one you want, and then press set. Jumping over to the dash. So you'll see your mirror controls are right here. Switch left and right to adjust. Econ button will improve gas mileage on the car. How that works is when you engage it, you'll see that green leaf come on up in there in the dash. It will improve gas mileage on the vehicle, shutting down some of the electrical systems affecting things like the accelerator, and your AC unit will be dampened. So you should be aware of that. Jumping down to a couple more buttons, you'll see your parking sensors are right here. So they are currently on now. This is for my road departure mitigation system. So you can see that that is on also now. My forward collision warning system, which is always on unless I turn it off. Collision mitigated braking is connected to this. And then my traction control system, this is connected to this. You have to press this for 3 seconds to turn it off. Only time you want to turn that off is if you're stuck in the mud and you wanted to spin your tires kind of thing. A little bit further down on the side of the door, you'll notice that you do have your trunk release and your gas tank. And then you can see a little bit past that is your hood right there. And in the right side of the screen below my foot, you can see that there is a kick pedal for the emergency brake. So that's what's going down on that side of the car. Let's jump back up to the steering wheel. So on your left side, first thing you're going to see is this button right here. So this is going to jump between essentially 3 different screens you're going to see over here. So navigation, which is through Garmin, you can see that popping up. I can jump over to my Bluetooth, which I don't have a phone connected to this car right now, or I can jump over to whatever audio system that I was listening to or have pulled up. So right now it's just FM. Over here, the plus and minus are going to be your volume controls. Left and right will switch between your favorite stations, the next track of anything you're listening to. Source will jump between FM, AM, USB, Bluetooth, whatever you got connected up to the car kind of thing. And then this will be kind of your shortcut to the menu depending on what you have audio-wise pulled up. Down here, you will notice that the Bluetooth controls are going to be right here. So to answer a phone call, I would press this. To hang up a call, I would press this. And then to use voice command, whether it be for the vehicle itself, to affect the AC unit, the navigation, things like that. Or I can press and hold until I hear Siri, if I want to go that route, or if I'm using Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and I have it plugged in, I can get to OK Google, things like that also. Below on the back side, you can see that that's my ventilated steering wheel, or excuse me, I should say heated steering wheel. So if I want to heat it up, I can absolutely when these cold winter months come. The car does have paddle shifters, so you can see them up here. If you want to adjust accordingly, you do have a 9-speed transmission. It'll shift change the shifting points in the vehicle. Over on this side, my main is what's going to initially set up like my cruise control. It also affects my lane keep assist and my adaptive cruise control. Those are some of the safety features in the car. Part of the Honda sensing suite if you've looked into the vehicles at all. When you turn that on, you'll see LKAS and ACC light up in the dash. That means they're ready to be armed essentially. Over here, we'll start with lane keep assist. Lane keep assist is right here. This uses a camera, which is actually up there in that box, if you can see it. What that's going to do is detect the lines on the road. So it works from 45 miles an hour to 95 miles per hour. Does not work when you have the windshield wipers on, so you can't use this in the rain, guys, so be aware of that. When I click this on, you will see those dotted lines appear. When they fill in solid, it means the camera is now reading the road. And so if you start to veer out of your lane, it will naturally just pull you back in. It's real slight. You can overpower it. That's only if you're not using your brake, or excuse me, your blinkers. To use your cruise control, get up to my speed, I would set it, cancel, resume. To use my adaptive cruise control to set the distance between me and the car in front of me, I would press this, and that will change the distance. You can see I've got 4 different options as far as the distance between me and the car in front of me. So just some things to keep in mind there. Down here, you're going to see some buttons right here. This is going to toggle between all the menus that you have up here. So whether it be a tire pressure, just removing it completely if you want your oil life, if you want your, just your navigational as far as your next turn by turn, or just a general compass, and then your tripometer information, things like that. So that's what's going on right there. Jumping over to the touchscreen. So, all right, touchscreen right here. So, first thing I'll do is jump to the home page and kind of walk you through some stuff. So this is essentially just like your phone with your apps on it, home screen. Navigation, as I mentioned before, is through Garmin. You can use voice commands for this. It's a little bit easier to navigate through, I think, now. Pretty easy, and they make it pretty self-explanatory. Anything you see on the screen, you can say with voice commands and get there, so just be aware of that. Moving to the next one, phone. If you had your phone connected to Bluetooth, this is where you'd pull it up, be able to get to your phone book, receive phone calls, texts, emails, all that. It'll even read them aloud to you depending on your phone. Tripometer information, if I want to see that here as opposed to in that screen over there, I can, or I can put just a simple clock or wallpaper up with a JPEG that I can plug into my USB, which is right down there. Jumping back over to the home button. Audio-wise, so audio-wise in the vehicle, I'm going to show you all your sources. So you have got FM, you've got AM, you've got 90 days of Sirius XM, and afterwards it's up to you if you want to continue. Excuse me, that's to the Blu-ray player. No CD player in this car, so be aware of that. USB, you can get a CD player if you want for an upgrade, so just be aware. You can plug in pretty much anything with an eye and it'll work. Pandora does have the capability of using that. I like to use the Bluetooth symbol because if you use the Pandora app and you're connected up, it will lock up your phone in case you're waiting on that important phone call, text, email, or something like that. So just preference personally. Other than that, you can see I do have audio inputs for the rear and video. So in that sense, if I wanted to hook up a video gaming system to the rear entertainment system, I could. So just kind of a cool little aspect there. Jumping down to the AC unit, this is going to be a tri-zone climate control, so it can control left and right separate each other and the back. You can lock the back too, so that way if there's little hands back there that are pushing buttons, you can prevent that. Down below that, you will notice the Blu-ray player. Next to it, you will notice a couple buttons, my heated seats and my cooled seats. So part of the Elite, you get those cooled seats. So it's kind of nice, and you have it on the passenger and driver's side. Down below, you saw that I do have a 12-volt outlet and a couple USBs. This is the one you got to plug into to use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, so just be aware of that. Part of my 9-speed transmission, you will see that I do have no shifter. It's going to be all buttons. So, you know, set park. As far as reverse, just pull back. It drops into reverse. You'll see immediately it pulled up my backup camera. You can see that my cross traffic monitoring is going off, saying, hey, you're about to back into something, which I can turn on and off. And those are my parking sensors also. So that's what's going on there. If I shift into neutral, that'll switch back off. Shift into drive. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Down here, you're going to see a couple different things. So right now, I'm shifting through. This is part of the Elite. You do get an intelligent traction management system that has, as you can see, normal, snow, mud, sand. So I've got a few different options where it changes shifting points and things like that as far as the suspension and everything, along with the transmission. So I'm going to shift back to park. I do have a center console. It's a shifting or sliding, I should say, console right there. And then I do have another USB and a power outlet inside of it. So just be aware of that, along with a sliding shelf if you care about that. Outside of that, probably the most commonly asked about thing is, what do the captain's chairs look like? So there is a center console that is not removable. It's right there. So that way you can see what that looks like. And then you can see my captain's chairs. They're sitting back there. So, and then I've got one of the seats flipped down back there. This one does have the panoramic moonroof. So that's part of this vehicle also. So you can see that, along with I do have another moonroof right here. And then I do have my flip down Blu-ray player. It is nice in the sense that it does come with a removable remote that I can control. Oops, let me flip this over. Not only the Blu-ray player, but a lot of different things. If you want to allow them to, they can control the stereo and things like that. So it's just nice that you have that. And it is rechargeable. It charges back in the station, so you can see where the touch points are to charge the thing. Outside of that, that is the general rundown of the Elite Pilot. This is a 2017 model. If you purchase one from me, chances are we went through a settings worksheet, and I'll show you where that is. And this is just general settings on the car. So home screen, settings. This allows you to jump over to things like vehicle if you want to get to your door locks, your windows, if you want to mess with an auto lock system, things like that. So door setup right there, you'll see auto locks, 10 miles an hour is what it's set up to. Oh, excuse me, somebody shift this one to park. Usually the default is set to when you get 10 miles an hour to lock the doors. Unlocking when you get out of your driver's side door, it'll usually, your default would be right there, that top one. So you saw somebody who's been in this car playing with it. But yeah, if you just want to mess with any of these screens to get to anything that you're interested in, you know, relock timers and things like that, it's all available to you right there. Outside of that, the rest of the settings, just to point it out, are right here. So they're easy to get to, guys. Audio, the cameras, guidelines, vehicle, smartphone. If you wanted to connect up a phone, just for the sake of showing you a couple different ways you can do it, let's say you've already connected one phone and you went through just a simple touching the Bluetooth and it popped up. The next way would go to Bluetooth. From here, we would go to Bluetooth device list. From here, add a Bluetooth device, and then it's going to prompt you, make sure the Bluetooth's on, blah, 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 blah. Make sure it's on my phone, and then we would go from there and it starts searching. So that's how that process works. And then once it's found, it'll pop up on the screen. You can select it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can always comment on this video. You can always email me at the letter J, F-U-L-L-E-R, that's jfuller@howdyhonda.com, or call me at 512-443-4300 and ask for Justin.